Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to yet another walk around. The car I have this week isn't quite as exciting as the Caterham I had last week, but I'm sure you'll agree it is very easy on the eye. That's because I have the brand new 5th generation Renault Clio, and my word, isn't it a stunner. Now I know looks are subjective, but I'm sure many of you will agree this is a very stylish, fine looking car. Now, as always, I will take you around the car, talk you through the specification and also give you my initial thoughts. I will apologise in advance if there's any wind noise. Once again, it is quite windy in the Goodwood area, but I do have my fluffy attachment on my mic, which should hopefully get rid of some of that nasty, horrible wind noise. But one thing that isn't horrible is the paintwork that is on this car. Now, it is an optional extra. It is called Valencia Orange, and I think it is a lovely shade of paint. When the sun hits it, it really pops and glistens. It is a very pleasing colour. Now, the car you see before you, this is the iconic trim level. So this is just one up from the base model, which is called Play. And this car starts from £16,295. This car does have a few options though, so I will go through those in due course. The car you're looking at right now is over £18,000, but it does offer a good amount of value for money. So let's talk standard features. So LED headlights and daytime running lights, they come as standard, and if I'm not mistaken, they also come standard on the base model as well, which is very impressive. You also get 16-inch alloy wheels. The design is okay, they're not overly sexy, but they are pleasing enough, and they are diamond cut. Very nice, but yes, you wouldn't want to scuff them. Thankfully, they're not large alloys, so you should be okay in that regard. Like quite a few 5-door Super Minis nowadays, the rear door handle is disguised in the C-pillar area, like the Suzuki Swift, and actually, come to think of it, I can't think of any other Super Minis right now that have that kind of feature. But yes, anyway, my point is you do have a disguised door handle just to make the car look a bit more sleek, and I think that works quite well. One design feature I really like, a very simple yet effective one, is the Clio moniker down here on the chrome trim. I think it's quite a classy touch, so well done Renault. Get tinted rear windows as standard. If we come around to the rear, again, this is another very pretty area of the car, and you can definitely tell this has the same design language as the Megane, which is by no means a bad thing, because that too is a visually stunning car in my opinion. So on the looks department, I think Renault has absolutely smashed it. I wouldn't say this is the best looking car in its class. I think that accolade has to go to the Peugeot 208, but this comes a very, very close second. Look at it. It is very sexy, I must admit. And yeah, the outside design isn't exactly a leap forward from the previous car, but that isn't a bad thing. So if you were to get a Mark V and a Mark IV together, there wouldn't be a massive gulf in differences in styling, but both cars are very pretty, so not too much of an issue. This car comes standard with keyless entry, so it is just open for me. The interior, I think, is a nice place to be. It's quite grown up. I think it's quite premium given the price of the car and the trim level. This isn't a mid-range trim level or top of the range. This is towards the bottom of the range, yet you get a leather steering wheel, which is nice in the hands. It feels quite premium. The seats are really nice to sit in. I like this pattern here. Again, I think it's quite classy, quite stylish. And the seats themselves are very comfortable. Yes, the headrest is quite firm, and look at the design. Renault have classed it as a comma because it kind of flicks out. Quite a quirky design, but I like it all the same. But yeah, the headrest is quite firm, but the actual seat base is foamy and spongy. And when you drop yourself into the seat, and I mean drop because the seating position is surprisingly low, and that is a good thing. If you are someone that struggles to get in and out of cars, may not be so much of a good thing, of course, but you can lift the seat up. I do have the seat set to its lowest right now, so well, that's just personal preference really. Let me actually step inside the car and get out of the wind as well. I can show you more of the interior. Turn on the ignition, so you've got a start-stop button. On the more expensive Clios, you can get a digital display, but I don't have that. Yes, I do have the little one in the middle, but this isn't got a virtual cockpit of sorts. But I think the instrument cluster is still quite nice to look at. It's got a pleasant backlight to it, so it does kind of look digital, even though it isn't. And again, I think that's quite classy. I think that's a buzzword that I will use quite often in this video if I haven't done so already. You've got soft touch on the dashboard. I know some of you really wonder why people like me bang on about having a soft touch dashboard, but it just denotes better quality. I know a hard dashboard is easier to wipe down and that kind of thing, but anyway, let's not get too bogged down in that. This piece of trim here, again, feels quite premium. It's nice to look at. As standard, you get a 7-inch touchscreen, which has navigation, Bluetooth, DAB radio, and smartphone connectivity. You get air conditioning as standard, but as an option, I actually have climate control. Now, just to go back onto the visual elements of the interior, you may have spotted these silver bits of trim. They are here to mimic knurled metal, and I can see the intention Renault has tried to use to make this look premium, but to actually touch it, it feels really cheap and nasty, and that's definitely one part of the interior I don't like. Of course, there are some cheaper plastics here and there, but this is a relatively cheap Super Mini, so you can't expect too much in the way of refinement and posh materials. I almost said classy again. I need to try and purchase a Thesaurus. But anyway, yes, the touchscreen is quite pleasing to use. It isn't the slickest, so I'm pressing the home button even though it was on home already. It isn't the slickest to use, but I've definitely used worse systems. The clarity, the display, I like it. It's quite vivid. The colours are quite rich, and overall, I have no problem with the display. But the actual operation of the system can be a little bit laggy at times. But if I have time, I will try and film a separate video going through the infotainment system. Also, as standard, you get rear parking sensors, but as an option, I have a reversing camera, as you can see there, and I've also got front parking sensors as well. Just give you another look on the interior. We've also got faux leather panels here, which again helps to give the inside of this car quite a premium feel. So yeah, that can only be a good thing. Now, in regard to other features, of course, you get autonomous emergency braking, you get lane departure warning and lane keep assist. So this car is very safe, and you also get 6 airbags. I do actually have a spec sheet down here that goes through everything. Just to go through the options. So the spare wheel, that is £200. The Valencia Orange paintwork, that is £660. That is a bit of a random amount. This also has the comfort pack, so it has rear electric windows, armrest with storage, interior vanity mirror with lighting. So if I just do this, you'll see you've got a little light up there. This also has the convenience pack, which is £300. So that has automatic headlamps and wipers, climate control, and the LED front reading lights, which are just here. I'll just turn them on, like so. If you heard that bleep a few moments ago, it's because the battery is going into standby mode, because I've got the ignition on, I'm not going anywhere, so the car's basically turned itself off. And that leaves me with the parking pack, which is at £300, and that gives me the front parking sensors and the reversing camera I mentioned a few moments ago. So the car I'm sat in right now is £18,105. Now, to give you a bit of a comparison, this car without options, compare it to the base model of the Fiesta, the Trend, this is cheaper, yet offers more equipment. Therefore, this is better value for money. I won't lie, the Fiesta is a better car to drive, but if you're looking for value for money, the Renault definitely beats the Fiesta, and this also has a bigger boot, but I will come onto that a little bit later. Speaking of space and practicality, the door bins aren't massive. You can fit a bottle in there though, not a large bottle. This is 500 millilitres. And I also have a bit of space down here. I've got my face mask, a sign of the times, of course, with coronavirus. You have a slot down here where you can perhaps pop your wallet or your smartphone. And as you can also see, you've got 2 USB ports, an auxiliary port, and also a 12-volt socket. I'll just lift it up like so. You have a handy slot down here where you pop the key. Let me actually show you the key because I think it looks really nice. Quite elegant, actually. That is the key, believe it or not. I think that looks quite smart. That actually sits in there. There's a little cradle for it. So that is a nice thought from Renault. Nice practicality, well done. You have 2 cup holders in the middle. As you can see, I've got a larger bottle here. I think this is 750 millilitres. Underneath the optional armrest, there's a bit of storage in there. I've got my sausage roll. I know, very healthy. The glove box is a bit disappointing, I won't lie. Open it up like so, and you'll see, let me drop the camera down, it isn't the largest area. I've got my Haribo in there. I know I'm a health freak. I know, sausage rolls and sweets. What can I say? Got a slot there for the manual as well. But yeah, I must admit the glove box is a little bit disappointing. Now, in regard to getting a comfortable driving position, that is easy because the steering wheel adjusts for rake and reach like so. And the driver's seat also has a good amount of adjustment. So I have no complaints there. I have found it very easy and very quick to get a driving setup which is comfortable for my 6'2" frame. Speaking of 6'2" frame, let me step into the back and I can show you what space is like there. Now the seat has of course been set for my height. Let me step in like so. I'd be honest, space in the rear, particularly for someone of my height, isn't particularly great, but to be fair, it's not that much worse compared to a Fiesta or a Suzuki Swift. Knee room is at a premium and leg room is okay, but me personally, I wouldn't want to be in the back of this car for a longer journey. On the plus side, I can fit my feet underneath the seat in front of me, so I can spread out a little bit more and relax. But yeah, leg room not overly impressive. What about headroom? Let me spin you guys around. Hello. Let me pop this headrest up actually. Headroom is, again, at a premium. I have just about enough. I think if I were an inch taller, I would be complaining for space in regard to headroom. But yeah, if you are a taller adult, the back of the Clio will not be the place for you. But let's face it, this is a Super Mini. This is a small car. It's not really designed for carrying adults, particularly taller adults, in the back for longer journeys. So I'm not really going to criticise the car too much for that, particularly as I said, compared to a Fiesta or a Swift, it isn't exactly any worse. By the way, just a quick shout out to my merchandise. Check out my cool t-shirt, not Clio related, but more MX-5 related. If you want to check out this cool t-shirt and if you want to purchase it or others in the range, please head over to controlandshift.com. I will put the link in the video description below. There we go, shameless plug over. Back onto the Clio. So, the door bins in the back aren't exactly massive, but if you wanted to pop some snacks in there for a road trip, you could probably do so. Give you a better shot there. You do have map pockets. So if you're one of those people that still uses an A to Z in 2020, firstly, what are you doing with your life? But secondly, you have a space there. Or if you want to put a magazine in there, or perhaps a relatively thin book. And apart from that, there isn't really any other practicality to be had in the rear. You do have hooks if you want to hang up an item of clothing, but that is pretty much your lot. Right, so let's step out. Now for me personally, I don't know if it's because I've got lanky legs, but I do find it a bit difficult to swing my legs out and get out of the Clio. It is a bit of a delicate operation. Right, onto the boot. Now you may think, hang on a minute, how do you open the boot? And when I first took delivery of the car, I was scratching my head a little bit, but I had a brainwave and thought, hang on, maybe it's under here, and it is, just like a Mazda MX-5. That was quite a good link actually, because I was speaking about an MX-5 a few moments ago. Anyway, I digress. So yes, this is the boot. As always, it is filled with my filming crap, but I will cut to a clip where it is empty. So with the rear seats up, this offers a very impressive 391 litres, which is very impressive indeed. It's more than the Fiesta by, well, about 100 litres, or give or take. It's more than the Seat Ibiza and the Volkswagen Polo as well, and as you would expect, it's more than the Suzuki Swift as well. So a very large boot. Yes, it is quite a high load lip, so as you can see, if I just put my arm in, you'll see it's actually quite a deep boot, which is good in some respects because it gives you more space, but if you want to load bigger or heavier items, then it may be a bit of a faff. But again, this is a Super Mini, so I doubt you're going to be putting wardrobes or anything like that in here anyway. Although, depending on the size of the wardrobe, it may fit. Now, of course, you can get more space if you fold down the 60/40 rear seats. If I'm not mistaken, with the rear seats down, it's either 1,096 litres or 1,069 litres. I'm having a little bit of dyscalculus there. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's like dyslexia but with numbers. So sometimes I do get my numbers muddled up. In fact, I do actually have my notes here. I can quickly double check. Okay, so I've just double checked. This will offer you 1,069 litres with the rear seats down. The rear seats do fold flat-ish, but this kind of thing isn't exactly uncommon for this class. Let's pop the seat back up, which is a bit awkward to do with one hand. There we go, clicked back into place. And of course you have ISOFIX points for those of you that want to fit child seats. Now let's talk through the engine. Let's close the boot down. The new Clio has a choice of 5 engines, 3 petrol, 1 diesel and 1 hybrid. Now the engine I have is the mid-range petrol. It is a 1 litre, 3-cylinder turbocharged unit. Of course it is petrol, as I mentioned a few moments ago. Let me lift up the bonnet like so. Just look at that paintwork glisten. So here we go, the engine. It does look like a bit of a mess in now, I must admit. There's lots going on. But anyway, this offers 100 horsepower along with 160 newton meters of torque. If you prefer that in pound-feet, I will drop in a subtitle to give you that figure in pound-feet. In regard to performance, now this car won't be bought based on performance, but in case you're wondering about the 0 to 62 time and those kind of aspects, this will take 11.8 seconds to hit 62 miles per hour, which is a little bit pedestrian, but in the real world, the engine does feel a bit nippy. The top speed is 116 miles per hour. So again, this won't be a car bought for its speed. What you're probably more concerned about is the fuel economy. So on a combined run, Renault states that this engine is good for 54.3 mpg on a combined run, and I took this car out for a run yesterday and I was able to get an average of 51.5, which isn't too bad, bearing in mind I had a passenger and I also had the climate control on. In regard to CO2, this engine emits 99 grams per kilometre of CO2, meaning for the first year of VED you'll be required to pay £130. So this will be quite a frugal little car. I've driven it a fair bit this week and at this moment in time it is on half a tank. So yeah, this is quite frugal in its use of petrol. Now, as I mentioned a few moments ago, you can have a diesel. That is a 1.5 litre diesel if you want a bit more fuel economy, but let's face it, diesels are pretty much on their way out. Unlike hybrid. So the hybrid, that uses 2 electric motors, if I'm not mistaken, as well as a naturally aspirated 1.6 litre petrol. And there we have it, guys. The brand new Renault Clio. What a stunner. Just love the little design elements in the lights. A very, very pretty car. And as I said earlier, it is very easy on the eye. Anyway, guys, time for me to wrap up. If you have any questions in regard to this car, please drop them in the comments section below and I will answer you as quickly and as efficiently as possible. There will of course be a full review coming. For my regular viewers, I'm afraid there won't be a Patsy Rates Cars video because she's still recovering from her operation and she's pregnant at the moment, so I don't really want to drag her out of the flat unless I really have to. But yeah, time for me to wrap up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If so, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.